The massive alien spacecraft emerged from the swirling quantum tunnel, its crystalline hull gleaming against the darkness of space. Captain Jihu Park watched the holographic display with a mix of curiosity and calculated calm. The massive vessel, easily the size of 5 aircraft carriers, hung in Earth's orbital zone, looking like a metallic jellyfish with hundreds of pulsing energy tendrils. "Incoming transmission," whispered Lieutenant Yun-ji, her fingers dancing across the quantum communication interface. The ship's bridge was a symphony of soft blue lights and advanced technology, a testament to humanity's rapid technological evolution in the past decade. The alien transmission crackled with strange harmonics. Jihu noticed how the sound seemed to vibrate at multiple frequencies simultaneously, a communication method far beyond traditional radio waves. The universal translator began breaking down the complex language, revealing a message that would change humanity forever. Inhabitants. Of planetary designation E473, the translation began. Your technological ecosystem has been evaluated. Prepare for systematic integration into the Galactic Confederation Protocol. Jihu's right eyebrow slightly raised. The aliens spoke with an almost bureaucratic tone, as if they were discussing a routine administrative procedure rather than potentially conquering an entire planet. Outside the observation deck, military satellites and advanced tracking systems were gathering unprecedented data. Massive sensor arrays across multiple continents locked onto the alien vessel, collecting every microscopic detail. Governments that had been perpetually at odds suddenly found themselves in an unexpected alliance. In a hidden research facility, beneath the Korean demilitarized zone, Dr. Yuna Kim watched the live feeds. Her team of quantum physicists and xenobiological experts had been preparing for this moment for years. They had developed theoretical models about potential first contact scenarios, but reality was proving far more intricate. The alien spacecraft began deploying smaller reconnaissance drones. These weren't mechanical machines in the traditional sense, but living quasi-organic constructs that moved with an unsettling biological precision. They looked like metallic squids mixed with crystalline structures, each drone capable of scanning entire city blocks in milliseconds. Analyzing energy signatures, Yun-ji reported, her voice steady despite the extraordinary circumstances. Their propulsion system seems to manipulate quantum entanglement differently from our current understanding. Jihu knew this was more than just a military encounter. This was a moment that would redefine humanity's understanding of its place in the universe. Beneath the professional demeanor, a storm of emotions churned. Excitement, fear, curiosity, determination. Humans had always been adaptable, always found ways to survive and thrive under impossible circumstances. The alien drones began mapping Earth's major metropolitan areas: Tokyo, New York, London, Seoul, Buenos Aires. Each city's infrastructure, communication networks, and technological capabilities were being analyzed with cold, precise efficiency. What the aliens didn't realize was that humanity's strength wasn't just in its technology. It was in its unpredictability, its capacity to innovate, its relentless spirit. Jihu remembered the words of his grandfather, a veteran who had survived multiple global conflicts. True strength isn't about having the biggest weapon. It's about understanding your opponent better than they understand themselves. The quantum communication interface suddenly pinged. Another transmission was incoming. This time it carried a different tone, less bureaucratic, more direct. "Prepare for systematic evaluation and potential assimilation," the message read. "Resistance is mathematically improbable." A subtle smile crossed Jihu's face. Mathematical. Probability had never understood the human spirit. As the alien reconnaissance drones continued their silent survey, something unexpected began happening. Small digital anomalies started appearing in their scanning systems. Tiny, almost imperceptible, glitches that would seem random to an untrained eye. But they weren't random. They were the first whispers of humanity's response. The bridge crew exchanged knowing glances. This was no ordinary first contact. This was the beginning of a story that would be remembered across generations. Somewhere in the vast complexity of human potential, A response was already being crafted, not with weapons, not with aggression, but with something far more powerful: human ingenuity. End of Part 1. The ultimatum arrived precisely 72 hours after the initial reconnaissance. Dr. Yuna Kim stood in the Global Communication Center, her fingers trembling slightly as the holographic display revealed the alien message broadcasted simultaneously across every digital platform on Earth. The message was both clinical and terrifying. No diplomatic niceties, no room for negotiation. The Galactic Confederation demanded complete planetary surrender within 48 hours. Their technological superiority was presented like a mathematical equation: cold, absolute, unquestionable. Governments worldwide scrambled into emergency sessions. Military commanders reviewed defense protocols that suddenly seemed laughably inadequate. The world's most advanced weapon systems looked like children's toys compared to the alien technology, hovering just beyond Earth's atmosphere. But beneath the apparent panic, something else was brewing: a collective human resilience that no mathematical model could predict. In a small research lab in Seoul, Seok Choi watched the transmission with a strange mix of excitement and professional curiosity. His team of quantum communications specialists had been preparing for scenarios like this for years. While politicians debated and military leaders panicked, they saw something else in the alien communication: opportunities. "Look here," Seok pointed to a microscopic pattern in the transmission's data stream. Most would see random noise, but his trained eye detected something different. "They're not just sending a message, they're scanning our communication infrastructure." His colleague, Dr. Hana Lee, zoomed into the digital pattern. Tiny algorithmic signatures flickered between the transmission's primary data. It was like discovering a hidden language within a language. "They're testing us," Hana whispered, "probing our technological defenses." Meanwhile, in military command centers around the globe, a different strategy was taking shape. No single nation could stand against this threat. For the first time in human history, global cooperation wasn't just ideal, it was essential. The aliens had made a critical miscalculation. They viewed humanity through a lens of technological comparison, measuring capabilities like mathematical equations. But humans weren't just about technology. They were about adaptation, creativity, and an inexplicable ability to turn limitations into strengths. Satellite networks began picking up strange quantum signatures. The alien ships were preparing something. But what? Advanced scanning systems detected energy buildups that defied current scientific understanding. Seok's team started developing a counter-strategy, not a traditional defense, but something more nuanced. They would use the aliens' own communication network against them, creating digital pathways that looked like standard responses, but contained intricate trap mechanisms. "We're not trying to destroy them," Seok explained to his team. "We're trying to understand them. Every transmission is a potential learning opportunity." Global leaders gathered in an unprecedented virtual summit. No diplomatic speeches, no political posturing. Just a focused discussion on survival and potential resistance. The alien ultimatum gave humanity 48 hours, but time meant something different to humans. Every second was an opportunity to innovate, to adapt, to prepare. Quantum computers around the world began running millions of simulation scenarios. Military strategists, scientists, and technology experts worked in perfect synchronization. The traditional boundaries between nations dissolved in the face of this unprecedented threat. Young programmers in Mumbai, network engineers in Silicon Valley, quantum physicists in Tokyo, they were no longer working for individual countries. They were working for humanity. The alien transmission continued to pulse, waiting for a response. But they didn't realize that the response was already being crafted, not as a direct communication, but as a complex, multi-layered strategy that would challenge everything they understood about technological warfare. Yuna Kim looked at the countdown. 47 hours remained. "We're ready," she whispered, more to herself than anyone else. Humanity's first true test of galactic survival had begun. End of Part 2. The moment the 48-hour ultimatum reached its final seconds, humanity struck with a precision that would be remembered across generations. Seok. Choi's fingers danced across quantum interfaces, releasing a network of digital weapons that were unlike anything the Galactic Confederation had ever encountered. These weren't traditional cyber attacks. They were living, adaptive algorithms that could mutate and respond in milliseconds. The first alien communication network experienced a subtle disruption. Nothing catastrophic, just tiny, almost imperceptible glitches that began spreading like a virus through their advanced systems. Each digital packet carried a complex mathematical signature that confused their computational defenses. In orbit, the massive alien mothership started experiencing unexplained system anomalies. Navigation protocols began shifting randomly. Quantum communication channels flickered with unexpected interference. What seemed like minor technical issues were actually sophisticated infiltration techniques developed by humanity's best minds. Dr. Hannah Lee monitored the global response from her underground research facility. Quantum entanglement communication. Systems she had been developing for years were now being deployed in a real-world scenario. Humanity wasn't just defending, they were actively counterattacking using the aliens' own technological principles against them. They're using centralized network control, Hannah explained to her team. That's their weakness. Centralization means a single point of potential failure. Satellite networks across Earth began transmitting complex algorithmic patterns. These weren't random signals. They were carefully designed computational weapons that could adapt and learn in real time. Each transmission carried multiple layers of potential threat, making it impossible for the alien systems to predict or neutralize them. Military command centers worldwide had transformed into high-tech coordination hubs. No traditional warfare strategies were being employed. This was a battle of information, of computational superiority, of innovative thinking. The alien reconnaissance drones suddenly found their scanning capabilities compromised. Some began sending contradictory information back to their mothership. Others started displaying bizarre navigation behaviors, moving in unexpected patterns that defied their original programming. Seok's team had created something revolutionary, digital camouflage that could make human technological signatures appear both primitive and unpredictable. The aliens were expecting a straightforward technological confrontation. Instead, they were facing a multi-layered adaptive defense mechanism that constantly shifted its parameters. Quantum computers in research facilities across different continents worked in perfect synchronization. They weren't just defending. They were actively learning from each interaction with the alien systems. Every transmitted signal became an opportunity to understand the invaders' technological infrastructure. In the Korean research facility, a breakthrough emerged. By analyzing the quantum communication patterns, Seok's team discovered a fundamental weakness in the alien network's communication protocol. Their advanced technology relied on a surprisingly rigid computational framework, something that could be systematically disrupted. "We're not destroying their technology," Seok explained to his colleagues. "We're teaching it to malfunction in ways they can't predict." The global response was unified and unprecedented. Nations that had been traditional rivals now shared technological insights in real time. Military networks, research facilities, and communication centers operated with a level of coordination that surprised even the most optimistic international observers. Alien command systems began experiencing cascading failures. Navigation protocols became unreliable. Communication channels started transmitting garbled, nonsensical data. What seemed like technical glitches were actually carefully designed computational attacks that targeted the very foundation of their technological infrastructure. Within hours, the alien fleet's computational confidence began to crumble. They had arrived expecting a straightforward conquest, armed with what they believed was insurmountable technological superiority. Instead, they found themselves facing an opponent that didn't play by any recognizable rules of engagement. The unexpected. Counterattack wasn't about destruction. It was about demonstrating humanity's most powerful weapon, adaptability, creativity, and an ability to turn limitations into unexpected strengths. As the first alien systems began to fail, a clear message emerged. Earth would not be an easy target. The battle for planetary sovereignty had only just begun. End of Part 3. The alien mothership's massive hull began to fracture from within, its once impenetrable quantum systems now riddling with cascading failures. Commander J. Quan watched the holographic displays, his team's sophisticated digital assault reaching its critical phase. What started as subtle infiltration had transformed into a full-scale technological warfare that defied every known principle of interstellar conflict. The Galactic Confederation's most advanced vessel was slowly being dismantled, not through traditional weapons, but through pure computational genius. Inside the research facility, Seok Choi's team had developed something extraordinary. Their digital weapon wasn't just a virus or a simple hack. It was a living, breathing computational organism that could adapt, learn, and transform in milliseconds. "We're not just breaking their systems," Seok explained to his colleagues. "We're teaching their technology to essentially self-destruct." The alien communication networks began experiencing bizarre malfunctions. Navigation systems started generating impossible route calculations. Defensive protocols turned against themselves, creating internal conflicts within their most advanced computational matrices. Quantum entanglement communication channels, once the aliens' most sophisticated technological advantage, now became their greatest vulnerability. Each transmission carried hidden algorithmic sequences that slowly unraveled their entire technological infrastructure. Dr. Hannah Lee monitored the global response, her fingers moving across multiple holographic interfaces. What the aliens didn't understand was that humanity's strength wasn't just in technology, but in its ability to think beyond traditional computational boundaries. The mothership's internal systems began experiencing total chaos. Robotic maintenance. Units started moving in random, contradictory patterns. Energy distribution networks became unpredictable, creating internal stress points that threatened the entire vessel's structural integrity. Alien command officers watched in growing horror as their most advanced systems began to fail. Their computational models, which had predicted a swift and simple conquest, now looked laughably inadequate. J. Quan's team had prepared for this moment. Years of research, countless simulations, and an understanding that technological superiority wasn't about raw power but adaptability. "We're not fighting them," Jay told his team. "We're outsmarting them." The assault wasn't just technological, it was psychological. Each computational attack was designed to create uncertainty, to make the alien systems question their own programming. Imagine a brain suddenly doubting its most fundamental operational principles. That was the kind of digital warfare humanity had unleashed. Quantum computers around the world worked in perfect synchronization. Research facilities in Seoul, Silicon Valley, Tokyo, and Mumbai shared real-time insights. No single nation controlled the assault. It was a truly global effort. The alien mothership's massive energy cores began destabilizing. What looked like random system failures were actually carefully orchestrated digital attacks that targeted the most fundamental aspects of their technological infrastructure. Robotic defense units started receiving conflicting commands. Some turned against their own systems, while others became completely non-functional. The once mighty alien technological marvel was being dismantled from within. "They expected a conventional response," Seok whispered, watching the holographic displays. "Instead, they got something they could never predict." The breaking point came suddenly. The alien mothership's central quantum computation core, the brain of their entire technological system, began a total systemic collapse. It wasn't destruction through force, but through a sophisticated digital assault that made the systems essentially commit technological suicide. Massive energy discharges erupted from the alien vessel. But these weren't weapons. They were the result of total internal computational failure. The ship was essentially tearing itself apart, its most advanced systems now working against each other. Humanity had done the impossible. They hadn't just defended themselves. They had demonstrated a level of technological innovation that would forever change the understanding of interstellar conflict. As the alien mothership began its final descent into complete system failure, a clear message emerged. Earth was not a planet to be conquered. It was a world of innovators, of survivors, of beings who could turn limitations into unprecedented strengths. The battle was won not through traditional warfare, but through the most powerful weapon humanity possessed: its ability to adapt, to innovate, and to think beyond known boundaries. End of Part 4. The aftermath of the conflict transformed Earth's understanding of its place in the universe. Hannah Lee stood on the observation deck of the Global Communication Center, watching the remnants of the alien fleet drift like broken glass across the star-filled sky. Transmissions from the Galactic Confederation's distant communication networks began flooding in, not as threats, but as something entirely unexpected: confusion, fear, respect. Commander Jae Kwon received the first comprehensive report detailing humanity's unprecedented defense. The digital assault they had conducted wasn't just a military victory. It was a comprehensive demonstration of human potential that would resonate across multiple star systems. "We didn't just defend ourselves," Jay explained to the Global Council. "We rewrote the rules of interstellar engagement." The surviving alien communication nodes began broadcasting a message that would become legendary. It wasn't a surrender, but a profound recognition of humanity's unexpected capabilities. Mathematical models that had predicted Earth's swift conquest now looked like primitive calculations. Seok Choi's research team became instant celebrities in the scientific community. Their computational strategies had done more than defend the planet. They had essentially created an entirely new form of technological warfare that challenged everything known about digital combat. Global communication networks began receiving fragments of alien transmissions. Each message carried an underlying tone of astonishment. Humanity had not just survived, they had transformed a potential invasion into a lesson about technological adaptability. Quantum communication channels revealed something extraordinary. The Galactic Confederation's central database was now analyzing humanity with a level of respect previously reserved for the most advanced civilizations in the known universe. They expected a simple conquest, Dr. Hannah Lee told her colleagues. Instead, they encountered a species that refuses to be categorized or controlled. The broken alien mothership became a silent testament to human ingenuity. Researchers from around the world began studying its fragmented systems, each piece revealing layers of technological complexity that would advance human understanding by decades. Diplomatic channels across Earth began receiving coded transmissions from distant alien communication networks. These weren't threats, they were requests for understanding. How had such a seemingly primitive civilization developed such sophisticated defensive capabilities? Jae Kwon understood the deeper message. This wasn't just about technological superiority, it was about demonstrating a fundamental human characteristic: the ability to transform challenges into opportunities. The global research facilities that had worked in perfect synchronization during the conflict now turned their attention to something more significant. They weren't just defending Earth, they were preparing it for potential future encounters. Quantum computing centers in Seoul, Silicon Valley, and Tokyo began developing new computational models. Each simulation explored potential scenarios of interstellar engagement, ensuring that humanity would never again be caught unprepared. The alien transmission that finally reached Earth's communication networks was both a warning and a recognition. It translated to something profound. Humanity is not to be underestimated. Your potential exceeds computational prediction. Seok Choi's team had essentially created a new form of technological communication, one that challenged traditional understanding of digital interaction. Their strategies would be studied across multiple research facilities for generations. As the remnants of the alien fleet slowly disintegrated in Earth's orbital zone, a clear message emerged. This was more than a defensive victory. It was a declaration of humanity's place in the universe. The star systems would remember this moment, Earth was no longer just a small planet in a vast cosmic landscape. It was a civilization that could transform potential destruction into an unprecedented opportunity for growth and understanding. Hana Lee watched the star-filled sky, a subtle smile crossing her face. Humanity had just written its first true chapter. In the book of interstellar history, the warning was clear: touch Earth again at your own risk. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, not with a whimper, but with a thunderous declaration of its own extraordinary potential. End of Part 5.